Fan and Mo Guang, childhood sweethearts, grew up together throughout their youth. He often called her rice ball. Their houses were only separated by a wall, and there were no secrets between them. She and Z, a close friend, hung out with them. The three of them grew up in a small county, going to school every day on the same familiar road. This is Guabu, the bookworm, who usually helped his classmates park their bikes before class. On the opening day of 11th grade, Fan was stunned by a new classmate named by Hai, a friend named Wei who was already close to the handsome guy. Seeing her name next to Hai's, Fan couldn't help but smile. Montak, even though he sat in the back, deliberately teased Rice Ball. Turns out, she had met Hai before. Once when Fan had her phone snatched, he helped her get it back. Hai remembered the old story, but Fan was so different now that he almost didn't recognize her. Fan pretended to be a lady, reminding her classmate Chin not to mess with her hair. However, Mo took the opportunity to push her buttons, causing her to quickly reveal her true self. The homeroom teacher entered the class and introduced the new student. The teacher introduced Hai as a former first-place winner in the Math Olympiad and a national debate champion. Even though the new student was outstanding, Z still thought his own best friend was better. The homeroom teacher reminded the students to correct their pastimes like snacking, reading novels, and dozing off in class. At lunchtime, Fan was munching on a chicken leg when she saw the handsome guy. She pretended to be a lady, making Mo Guang suspicious. He realized that every time she met the Prince Charming, she seemed to turn into a different person. Just then, she and Z brought soda, and Fan, who didn't like onions, picked them all out and gave them to Mo Guang. Seeing her choke while eating, he teased her, asking how many months pregnant Rice Ball was. After school, Mo Guang secretly stole stuff from his dad's convenience store. Mr. Chun forbade his son, but spoiled Fan. Mo Guang wondered who was really his dad's biological child. At Uncle Yun's snack shop, Mo Guang and Fan got to try a new snack. The more she looked at her best friend's face, the uglier she found him. Mo Guang clarified that the number of people chasing after him would line up from bridge number 3 to bridge number 4. Suddenly seeing her mom across the street, Fan quickly darted home. She signaled to her dad to quickly clean up the mahjong. When Mrs. Xia entered the house, she saw her husband diligently sweeping and her daughter diligently studying. Seeing the messy kitchen, Mrs. Xia got angry and accidentally knocked over the mahjong tiles. As a result, Fan had to wear headphones to get through her mom's anger directed at her dad. Fan went downstairs to throw out the trash and happened to run into Mo Guang. He was watching his dad talking flirtatiously with another woman. Seeing Mo Guang unhappy, Fan analyzed. Miss Wang has a big mouth and likes to eat and drink, and Mo Guang's dad's cooking is terrible now, so he definitely won't be able to keep her. Her best friend's way of comforting him made his heart stop. Back home, Mr. Chun offered his son an apple, but Mo Guang refused. He asked his dad when he planned to have the wedding and have kids with Miss Wang. He didn't want his dad's new child to share his last name. During history class, Fan secretly drew a portrait of the handsome guy. The teacher caught her red-handed, but mistakenly thought the student was drawing him. The teacher heard that over the summer vacation, Fan had gone to the Hafi magazine's editorial office. The teacher questioned her, asking if the student planned to become a celebrity, and that's why she wouldn't pay attention in class. Fan thought Mo Guang had snitched on her, since this was a secret between them. He remembered that she spent the whole summer vacation writing a novel. Hearing that Mo Guang helped send the manuscript, Fan promised that if she became rich, she would definitely take care of her best friend's marriage prospects. Finally, the Xianya editorial office in Hefei scheduled an interview with Fan. Her mom didn't let her go because she was afraid of scams. Mr. Shi had no choice but to take all the hidden funds he had hidden in the Buddhist scriptures to give his daughter travel expenses. Fresh off the boat in Hefei, Fan fell into a training center. They used the Xianya editorial office's name as a front to lure students into joining a literature training class. The naive Fan paid all her money to the scammers. Arriving at the training center as directed, she only saw a cosmetics shop. Outside, she met a young friend in the same situation and was sure that she had been scammed out of her money. Hearing Mo Guang's call, Fan suddenly burst into tears. When he arrived, she had already been helped by Hai. Fan told Mo Guang not to reveal her embarrassing situation to anyone. To comfort his best friend, Mo Guang only had enough money to take Rice Ball to play in the old district. Passing by a costume shop, she wanted to try on a wedding dress. Seeing Fan tense while taking photos, Mo Guang joked around to help her relax. The owner only printed the small photo for free, but charged a high price for the large one. Fan felt bad about the money, so she didn't print the large photo. Outside, Mo Guang pretended to have a stomach ache and went back to buy the big photo of Rice Ball, waiting for Mo Guang. Fan reported that there were no more buses home. They decided to stay at a guest house, but they had to agree on a story to tell their parents. Looking at the guest house's price list, Fan discovered that they only had enough money to rent one room. Mo Guang trusted his best friend to take on all the responsibility. Fan took all her courage and rented one room, then took the key and ran off in a hurry. However, the ambiguous atmosphere of the room left both of them speechless. Mo Guang gave the bed to Rice Ball while he slept on the sofa. She thought the bed was very big, enough for two people to lie on. Mo Guang used the excuse that he wanted to try the cramped feeling of sleeping on the sofa. In his dream, the bride's face of Rice Ball unconsciously made Mo Guang's heart flutter, but her earth-shattering slap suddenly woke him up. It turned out that Fan was swatting a mosquito. Mo Guang took medicated oil from his bag to put on Rice Ball's itchy bite. Realizing he was touching a girl's shoulder, he hurriedly returned to the sofa. Fan tossed and turned, unable to sleep, so she wanted to chat with Mo Guang. She wondered, since he was good at science, why did he choose the social science class? Mo Guang gave the reason that the social science class was simpler. He asked Rice Ball, what do you want to do in the future? She thought she would be a cleaner, and Mo Guang would be a security guard. Seeing her gradually fall asleep, he finally dared to take the photo out of his bag. He looked at the two faces and suddenly realized that Rice Ball had grown up. Hearing that other classmates knew she had been scammed in Hafi, Fan became even angrier at Mo Guang. Seeing her sulking alone, Bai Hai came to comfort Fan. He thought she was very brave for daring to challenge herself by going to Hafi. On the school grounds, Mo Guang caught Fan sitting with Bai Hai and hurried to squeeze in between them. Hearing her snap at him, he guessed that Rice Ball was on her period. He asked her to write his class essay for him. Seeing her refuse, he reminded her that the friendship between them was eating from the same bowl, sleeping in the same bed. To shut Mo Guang up in front of the handsome guy, Fan had no choice but to agree. Waiting for Mo Guang to come back from playing basketball, Fan reported that she had written and submitted the essay for him. Mo Guang thanked her for saving his life and even invited the hero to his house for dinner. During the essay return class, Miss Sun was very pleased with Mo Guang's essay. She invited him to the podium to read it aloud for the whole class to enjoy. Mo Guang confidently spoke loudly. Everyone's youth changes unpredictably. For me, it's a late puberty. Recently, my chest has been aching dully. I'm quite excited, mixed with a bit of shyness. I want to ask someone, but I'm as shy as a lotus flower in the cold wind. Miss Sun praised Mo Guang's level of comparison, saying that it was truly extraordinary and that she was ashamed to be inferior to her student. After school, Mo Guang questioned Fan about why she made him a laughingstock. She ignored him and didn't even want to go home with him. At a bar to relieve his sorrow, Mo Guang blamed Fan for getting angry for no reason and for talking with Bai Hai all day. He wondered who dared to reveal that Rice Ball went to Hafi. Just then, some thugs came to make trouble at the next table. Seeing that he was about to start a fight, Mo Guang bravely stopped him. In that moment, he was sure he was going to get beaten to a pulp. Unexpectedly, the thug immediately retreated. Mo Guang thought the other party was afraid, but he didn't know that there was a pair of eyes secretly watching him from behind. Over here, Fan choked while eating chips. She asked for her dad's secret funds and even tried to sweet-talk her mom into advancing her allowance so she could secretly go to the doctor. Returning to her room, Fan overheard her mom chatting with her dad that business wasn't going well, so they had to save money for their child to go to college. Outside, Mo Guang shined a flashlight into her room's window. He borrowed her notebook to do his homework. The next day, Fan went to the hospital for a checkup. The doctor advised her to come for regular checkups because autoimmune hepatitis can easily become malignant. Waiting for Fan to return to class, Mo Guang asked her why she skipped the first class. She asked him to go back to his seat so she could concentrate on studying. Bai Hai gave his notebook to Fan. Seeing them close, Mo Guang felt a little hurt. During class, Mo Guang wrote a letter blaming Rice Ball for forgetting about him because of the Prince Charming beside her. Seeing her ignore him, he continued to write a letter asking Rice Ball to pay attention to him. After class, Mo Guang asked Rice Ball to go eat. She was in the mood, but he wouldn't give up. Hearing her blame him for not being understanding, Mo Guang confidently stated that he was the one who understood Rice Ball the most. She doesn't eat herbs, likes durian, can't tell directions, and takes half an hour to go to the bathroom. Fan thought that anyone else next to her would know those things too. After school, Fan couldn't find her test results. It turned out that another classmate had picked them up. This was the first time Fan went home at night without Mo Guang. Seeing someone following her, she planned to pull the younger sister in front of her. But unexpectedly, the man behind her was there to pick up his daughter. At the moment when she was scared, Bai Hai appeared. Even though it was the opposite direction, he still thoughtfully took her home. To thank him, Fan invited her friend to have a late-night snack. Across the street, Mo Guang, who was looking for Fan, saw her happily eating with the Prince Charming. He approached and asked to join them. Seeing Rice Ball give the last skewer of grilled meat to Bai Hai, Mo Guang wanted to snatch it back. Bai Hai thanked Fan for the late-night snack, and he offered to treat her next time. Mo Guang also asked to join. Seeing the eyes full of affection that Rice Ball had for Bai Hai, Mo Guang felt uncomfortable in his heart. The next day in class, Fan saw the strange looks from her classmates. During literature class, a friend named Lin Shu asked the teacher if hepatitis was contagious. Miss Sun declined to answer because it wasn't within the scope of the lesson. At lunchtime, the students all avoided Fan. Mo Guang wondered what was happening to Rice Ball. Xia said that the whole class was spreading rumors about Fan's hepatitis. Mo Guang thought that he ate and slept with Rice Ball, so wouldn't he know she was sick? Knowing that Fan hadn't eaten, Mo Guang brought rice back to the classroom for her. Seeing the disapproving looks from other friends, she lost her appetite. Waiting for Fan to return to the classroom, Bai Hai gave her a sandwich. Seeing her refuse the food he bought, but happily eat the sandwich from Bai Hai, Mo Guang became even more jealous. It turned out that way, Ku had picked up Fan's test results. She pretended to be kind, wanting to stand up for Fan with Bai Hai. On the school grounds, Mo Guang heard two other classmates gossiping about Fan. They complained that if she had hepatitis transmitted through sexual contact, no one would want her. Mo Guang was angry and punished the two busybodies directly, calling Mo Guang into the office. Teacher Wang blamed the student for constantly causing trouble and for hitting a good student in the science class. Mo Guang didn't care who that person was. He affirmed that as long as he heard anyone say bad things about Fan, he wouldn't let that person go. She heard Mo Guang's declaration outside the door. Meeting Fan, Teacher Wang planned to ask the student about her medical condition. Mo Guang said that he grew up with Fan, and he was sure that she didn't have any illness. Fan admitted that only half of the rumor was true. She really had hepatitis, but not a contagious strain. Pulling Fan up to the rooftop, Mo Guang asked if her illness was incurable. She thought he watched too many idol dramas and saw incurable diseases everywhere. Mo Guang, this disease could be fatal. I used to think that the time from being a child to being an adult was a very long time, but I just discovered that the truth isn't necessarily like that. I'm afraid that after I close my eyes, I won't be able to eat my favorite foods, and I won't have the opportunity to finish reading all the magazines. I don't want to tell anyone because my mom just lost her job and has a lot to worry about. I don't want others to worry, and I don't like them stigmatizing me. Rice Ball, I'm not other people. Mo Guang believed that Fan, who had been healthy since childhood, wouldn't be easily defeated by illness. He would think of ways to earn money with her so she could get regular checkups. At the bar, Xia introduced Mo Guang to a part-time job for the manager named Hui. Seeing Mo Guang's bright personality, Hui agreed to hire him. After work, Xia asked for permission to leave early to attend his mother's birthday. Hui introduced Boss Zhou as the owner of the bar. Passing by Mo Guang, Boss Zhou recognized him as the courageous guy from the other day. It turned out that the person secretly watching Mo Guang at the bar was Boss Zhou. He really liked Mo Guang's sense of loyalty, so he recruited him to his team. Hearing Mo Guang decline, Boss Zhou shared his great ideal. Instead of just being a hooligan, he wanted to turn Huayin, a small county, into a densely populated place. Mo Guang thanked Boss Zhou for his kindness, but he didn't want to go to prison for peace. On the way home, Mo Guang ran into two fathers drinking to relieve their sorrows. Mr. Chun thanked Fan's dad for giving him a son. Mo Guang was his only purpose in life. In the dark night, Mo Guang had a nightmare because he thought he was related to Fan. The storm outside was like the troubles in his heart. At this moment, Mo Guang realized that being brother and sister with Rice Ball was the relationship he least wanted to face. Early in the morning, Mo Guang gloomily greeted Rice Ball on the way to school. Still the familiar road, the usual breakfast foods, but Mo Guang was different than before. He didn't dare to eat the foods that Fan had tasted. Arriving at class, Fan asked Mo Guang what had happened. Seeing his ears turn red, she was afraid that her best friend had a fever. At close range, Mo Guang hurriedly avoided her. During math class, Fan sent a letter teasing Mo Guang. However, he only reminded her to focus on studying. Seeing the student not paying attention, the homeroom teacher called on Fan to solve a math problem. Bai Hai helping didn't save Fan. At lunchtime, Mo Guang came face to face with Fan, but deliberately ignored her. Other friends also avoided them, so they wouldn't have to eat at the same table with a person with the disease. Only Bai Hai always welcomed Fan. He told her not to mind those who weren't worth it, and that she always had a friend in him. Mo Guang sitting at the next table, couldn't swallow his rice. During literature class, the teacher invited Mo Guang to the board to share his feelings about the book he had just read. He only shared that the book was called Thunderstorm, and it told about a chain of tragedies, parents marrying without love, the mother falling in love with her husband's stepson, and the son being even more miserable because he accidentally gave his heart to his half-sister. Sitting and studying late into the night, Mo Guang remembered images of Shifan. Over here, she was also thinking about his distancing himself. She wondered if he was afraid of catching her disease. The next day, Teacher Wang met with Shifan privately. He didn't want the students' writing talent to fade, so he recommended Shifan to become a student representative to participate in a speech recital. On the school grounds, Shifan heard her friends talking behind her back. She suddenly threw up, but no one came to help. At this moment, Shifan felt the extreme rejection. At the speech recital, Shifan, on behalf of the entire student body, gave a speech about her experiences. But when her name was mentioned, the students below all started talking in an uproar. That made Shifan feel inferior, and she could only bow her head and stammer as she read the speech. She unexpectedly crumpled the speech and spoke her current feelings. Dear friends, I do indeed have hepatitis. But the doctor said that my autoimmune hepatitis isn't contagious at all. In the past, I had time on my hands, but vaguely let more than 10 years pass. Hepatitis made me realize many things. The road to school is beautiful, and the white rice in the school cafeteria is also very fragrant because I'm afraid that one day I won't be able to eat it anymore. Some people are like white rice, constantly appearing in my life, causing me to forget that he is very precious. If we argue, I will definitely set aside my pride and take the initiative to make up with him because, to me, he is extremely important. Thank you for this time that has made me understand the meaning of time. Shifan timidly walked down in front of everyone's eyes. Rice ball. A familiar call suddenly rang out. Mo Guang ignored everything and walked toward Shifan, hugging her tightly. He secretly blamed himself for hesitating, like the rumors hurting Shifan. Rice ball, no matter what happens, I will firmly stand in front of you. The classmates all came to cheer Shifan up. The whole school wished her a speedy victory over her illness. After school, Mo Guang apologized for pushing Shifan into the cold palace these past few days. To make up for it, he would treat her to a meat-filled feast. While studying in a group, Shifan discovered that Mo Guang secretly ate her candy. She was sure that he would get cavities sooner or later. Mo Guang bet that if he got cavities, he would give Shifan 500 yuan, but if he won, she had to agree to one condition. Just then, Mrs. Xia came in and asked Mo Guang to stay for dinner. Mr. Shi planned to cook Mo Guang's favorite fish dish. Mo Guang wondered why they were so good to him. Mr. Shi affirmed that Mo Guang, like Shifan, was a child of this family. Mo Guang unexpectedly called the two mom and dad. The next day, Shifan was dragged to class early in the morning by Mo Guang. She forced him to take responsibility if she fell asleep during class. Seeing Shifan go to get water for Bai Hai, Mo Guang also wanted to be like that. She realized that Mo Guang often got angry when he saw her being nice to Bai Hai. She had even seen him secretly getting water for Bai Hai. Mo Guang couldn't explain it and had to distract Shifan. In class, Teacher Wang announced the upcoming art festival. Shifan volunteered to register for a performance. She thought that there was only one festival every 3 years, so she wanted to leave good memories in high school. Hearing that, the classmates all wanted to register to participate. In front of the teacher's office door, Bai Hai mustered up the courage to go in to see Teacher Wang. He wanted to register to dance with Shifan at the art festival. Back in class, Bai Hai presented his choreography ideas to Shifan. He wanted to simulate a famous musical, telling about the struggle of two boys to win a girl's heart. Bai Hai asked Shifan to become the female lead. He believed that Shifan would learn quickly if she absorbed it well. Knowing that Mo Guang had been dancing since he was little, Shifan asked her best friend to tutor her. He teased her for having uncoordinated limbs and difficulty expressing artistic spirit, but out of respect for her bottle of water, he reluctantly agreed. Going to see Teacher Wang, Mo Guang registered to dance with Shifan. Teacher Wang said that Shifan was already dancing with Bai Hai. Under the stairs, Bai Hai accidentally heard that. He invited Mo Guang to join his dance performance. Mo Guang said frankly that he had no interest in Bai Hai's play, but he reluctantly agreed because of Shifan. On the rooftop, Bai Hai guided Shifan to practice dancing. Seeing him hold Rice Ball's hand, Mo Guang hurriedly pushed him away. He wanted to dance with Bai Hai so that Shifan could observe and learn. Seeing the two boys awkwardly dancing, Shifan couldn't help but laugh. Unable to watch her dance with another boy, Mo Guang sadly left. Back in class, Bai Hai unexpectedly called out Mo Guang's secret nickname. He wondered why Mo Guang could solve math at the graduate level, but he chose to study in the social science class. Was it possible that Mo Guang's feelings for Shi Fan had exceeded mere childhood friendship? Mo Guang insisted that his feelings for Shi Fan were like a brother protecting his younger sister. Bahai didn't believe Mo Guang's explanation. He declared that he would not give Shi Fan to anyone. After school, Shi Fan asked Bahai to practice dancing. Ku Xin reminded him that Bahai's family would be coming to her house for dinner. Bahai apologized to Shi Fan for forgetting his parents' instructions. Shi Fan had no choice but to go home and practice alone. Mo Guang happened to pass by and compared her to a silly bird that never learned to take off. He had no choice but to replace Bahai to practice dancing with her. With a love song playing in the background, Mo Guang took Shi Fan in his arms. She gently placed her hand on his shoulder, looking directly into his eyes. Mo Guang supported the lover's spin, and Shi Fan's bright eyes seemed to illuminate Mo Guang's life. He wanted to get closer to her, but was afraid that both of them would get hurt. The next day, Mo Guang used all of his savings to buy a pair of shoes for Shi Fan. He didn't dare to give them to her yet, only secretly watching her through the window. Seeing Shi Fan twist her ankle, Mo Guang quickly brought oil to massage her. Shi Fan sighed that she still couldn't keep up with Bahai's choreography. Mo Guang thought that she should compare herself with herself from yesterday, and if there was progress, Shi Fan wouldn't have any regrets. In the evening, Mo Guang decided to give Shi Fan her gift. Coincidentally, she had just received a pair of shoes from Bahai. Seeing Shi Fan like the Prince Charming's gift, Mo Guang had no choice but to hide the shoes bought with all of his savings very carefully. The art festival finally arrived. Shi Fan shone in a formal dress, with the Prince Charming's shoes on her feet. However, Bahai still hadn't arrived. It turned out that Bahai's family had scheduled a dinner with Ku Xian's family. His dad questioned why his son didn't come to the evening tutoring sessions. He called the homeroom teacher and only found out that Bahai was busy practicing dancing. He thought his son was wasting time and playing with children who had no future. Bahai thought that they were all carefully raised by their families, and they got to live as human beings and not machines like him. From a young age, he had to read the books his dad assigned and eat the food his dad thought was good. Even when he was 10 years old, Bahai liked playing with Rubik's Cubes, but his dad thought it would discourage his son, so he forced him to break it with his own hands. In his dad's eyes, he was a son without flaws, but in Bahai's eyes, he was just a tool. Dad, I really don't want to go home after school. Because at my friend's place, for the first time, I feel free and happy. I hate you for stealing my childhood. Bahai went to his room to get his school bag and was locked up by his dad. Bahai asked Ku Xian to free him because the festival was really important to him. Ku Xian ran to the festival to report that Bahai was locked up at home. Montak Gvang was executed, even though his teammate went to rescue the Prince Charming. However, the electronic lock on Bahai's house wasn't easy to break. Mo Guang had no choice but to call Bahai from the window. They cheered on a good son escaping from his house. In the meantime, Shi Fan went on stage alone. Finally, the Prince Charming arrived, but only when Mo Guang appeared did she really feel relieved. Shi Fan confidently stepped into the dance with Bahai. Their flirtatiousness made the entire audience cheer. It was Mo Guang's turn, and in the role of someone who couldn't get love, he used all his strength to fight with the Prince Charming to win the girl he loved. The entire auditorium erupted in cheers at the two boys' excellent performance. The entire 11A7 class raised their glasses to celebrate their victory at the art festival. Ku Xian wondered which of the two boys Shi Fan would choose. Zixia thought that if he went on stage, he would overwhelm both Bahai and Mo Guang. To prove it, he showed off a few street dance moves for his friends to admire. During the meal, Mo Guang felt hurt when he saw Bahai caring for Shi Fan. Boss Zhou unintentionally saw his lovesick eyes. He called for 5 more plates of meat to treat the young friends. Hearing Boss Zhou asking about Shi Fan, Mo Guang quickly pulled him outside. Boss Zhou still wanted to recruit Mo Guang, but he was rejected once again, seeing that Mo Guang was giving his affections to Shi Fan. Boss Zhou advised his younger brother that he had to have money to protect her. He said that he made money with 2 purposes. One was to help the people on the team, and the second was for his family to live in a big house. Passing by a barbecue restaurant, Mo Guang ran into his dad dating another woman. Mr. Chen explained, but Mo Guang thought that he didn't have the right to interfere in his dad's business. Mo Guang sulked and drank until late at night before going home. Hearing his dad nagging, he said straight out that he wasn't his biological son, but was related to Rice Ball, waiting for his son to sober up. Mr. Chen asked about everything in detail. After listening, he burst out laughing because he wouldn't waste his breath raising a child for someone else. He said that he and Mo Guang's mom had known each other since high school. After graduating, she worked at the same company as Shi Fan's dad. At the time they organized a picnic, Fan's dad asked Mr. Chun to come along. Also during that day, Mr. Chun narrowed the distance and then moved to marriage with his wife. Therefore, Fan's dad was the matchmaker who helped him have a good son like Mo Guan. Mr. Chun admitted that he was planning to find a woman to take care of his son, but he had figured it out and wanted to live with Mo Guan. Mo Guan didn't believe his dad, so he secretly pricked his blood to verify his relationship with Fan. She suddenly woke up and saw Mo Guan lying on top of her. He quickly used the excuse of coming over to ask for snacks, but was afraid that she was hiding good things on her bed. Seeing Fan get poked by a rose thorn, Mo Guan was excited to put all his effort into pricking it into the vase. However, the hospital only tested with blood in the veins. Back home, Mo Guan inquired about the blood types of Fan's family. She said that both she and her dad were blood type O. Going to school to meet the biology teacher, Mo Guan wondered if a dad with blood type O and a mom with blood type A could give birth to a child with blood type AB. The teacher explained that the child born would have two possibilities, being blood type O or blood type A. Mo Guan was overjoyed because he was blood type AB and not Fan's brother. Back in class, the more Mo Guan looked at Fan, the less she looked like him. She affirmed that they were brothers and sisters with the same dad, but different grandfathers. At the bar, Boss Zhou heard that his grandma was coming to visit. He quickly organized an emergency meeting to think of ways to deal with it. As a result, Mo Guan had to change his clothes and become the owner of the shop. Coincidentally, Zixia brought Fan to play. She burst out laughing when she saw Mo Guan's straw hero appearance. Seeing Boss Zhou gesturing, Zixia understood and tactfully reminded Fan. Mo Guan asked for permission to go first, giving the children space to discuss studying. Zixia told his grandma that Brother Zhou was very diligent in solving problems to participate in the college entrance exam again. The grandma happily gave the grandchildren country duck eggs. Waiting for the grandma to leave, Mo Guan was very surprised to see Boss Zhou being affectionate with her. Boss Zhou confided that he only had his grandma as his only relative. He was a gangster, but as long as he ate the grandma's duck egg, he felt warm. He sold his life to make money so that the grandma wouldn't have to worry about food and clothing. Mo Guan apologized for misjudging Boss Zhou before. Seeing Mo Guan wearing his clothes, Boss Zhou decided that he would give all of his businesses to him when he retired. He thought that Ahui had a bit too big of an ego and would easily go down the wrong path. Outside, Ahui had heard the big brother's plan. In her dream, Fan saw Mo Guan becoming her Prince Charming. She woke up and saw his medicated oil bottle on the table. The next day at school, Fan heard teacher Wang punishing Mo Guan for daring to write a love letter to a female friend. Waiting for the end of class, she pulled him up to the rooftop. Fan questioned Mo Guan about writing a letter to an upperclassman or a classmate named Wan Wan. Mo Guan questioned her about dating by high early. Seeing Fan embarrassed, Mo Guan suddenly looked directly into her eyes. Fan quickly avoided him and continued to question her best friend. Hearing him admit to writing a love letter, she angrily left. Back in class, Mo Guan was celebrated by his friends for being a brave pioneer who escaped being single. During literature class, Teacher Yuan knew that student feelings weren't promoted in school, but she thought that this kind of passionate emotion didn't need to be strictly prohibited from discussion. She asked the students how they interpreted love. Zixia expressed the view that people always have emotions, and no matter the age, the vibration is a beautiful memory. Ku Xin remembered seeing a film clip that said love is the constant possession. Teacher Yuan remembered the next sentence in the film clip being unconditional sacrifice for the person you love. As an experienced person, she believed that good love will help us grow. If expressing feelings affects studying, then temporarily hide them in your heart. And after we and the other party graduate, we will give each other more opportunities. After class, Balai pulled Mo Guan outside. He thanked his classmate for delivering the love letter for him and for not confessing in front of the homeroom teacher. Fan secretly listened to their conversation and felt relieved that Mo Guan didn't write a love letter to someone else. After school, Bai Hai asked Fan to come to his house so he could lend her Gulong novels. Coincidentally, Ku Xian brought fruit for Bai Hai. Seeing Fan asked permission to leave, Bai Hai quickly saw her off. Time passed quickly. Mo Guan often came to class to fill Fan's candy box. In the winter, Teacher Wang reminded the students to focus on reviewing for the upcoming exam. When it came to a difficult math problem, Mo Guan competed with Bai Hai for the first time. It turned out that he wanted to prove his strength in front of Fan. Even though the teacher didn't call on him, Mo Guan solved the problem on scratch paper, and as a result, his speed exceeded Bai Hai's. During recess, Bai Hai looked at Mo Guan's scratch paper and realized that there was a shorter solution. On the day of the exam, Fan followed the old rule. 3 long. 1 short. Choose the shortest sentence. Zixia still believed in lucky dice. Mo Guang finished the test before Bai Hai, waiting for Shi Fan to come home. Mrs. Xia said that she had quit working at the shop. She heard that the foreign garment industry was very fond of Chinese patterns, so she wanted to try her luck there. However, she was afraid that her daughter would object. Shi Fan was very proud that her mom still wanted to venture out and start a business at an older age. She promised to take good care of herself. The next day in class, Teacher Wang announced that this year was his worst class of students. He praised Shi Fan for doing very well in literature, even though she ranked 10th from the bottom. In contrast, Mo Guang fell sharply and was even lower than Shi Fan. It turned out that Mo Guang was afraid that Shi Fan would be ranked last, so he deleted the solutions in his exam. In the teacher's office, Shi Fan asked the homeroom teacher not to call Mo Guang's parents. She said that his circumstances were very special and that Mo Guang's dad was raising him alone. She promised to urge him to study so he could achieve better results in the next exam. Back home, both Shi Fan and Mo Guang were punished to stand. Shi Fan bet that she would surpass 5 ranks in the next exam, and whoever lost had to learn the dog dance and jump 10 times on the ground. At the cafeteria, Shi Fan discovered that a friend named Lin Shu didn't like eating herbs like her. They coincidentally both liked to eat durian and idolized the movie It Started With a Kiss. Zixia sighed because the friendship of girls was so magical. He heard that there was an abandoned cement factory nearby, so he asked his friends to explore it. On the weekend, the group of friends went to the abandoned factory. As soon as they stepped through the door, Mo Guang heard a creaking sound. A person suddenly appeared, causing Shi Fan to be frightened and nestle in by Hai's chest. While everyone went ahead, Zixia gave Mo Guang the props to help him perform the hero, saving Lin Shu. The plan was very good, but the execution was a little out of line. Shi Fan blamed Mo Guang for being old and still using a fake snake to scare them. Continuing to explore, Zixia waited for the timid people to enter the room and immediately locked the door. He only intended to play a little, but the lock was stuck. Mo Guang twisted hard, causing the lock to break in half. Zixia hurriedly ran to find a locksmith. Separated by a door, Mo Guang remembered when Rice Ball was little, she had hidden in the closet but couldn't open the lock to get out. When he found someone to open it, she was crying like a kitten. Shi Fan remembered that as soon as the closet door opened, Mo Guang was crying miserably outside. Before Zixia had time to find anyone, an upperclassman named He Junsheng brought lock-breaking tools. It turned out that Lin Shu had texted the upperclassman for help. Zixia wasn't happy because he had secretly liked Lin Shu for a long time. When the door opened, Mo Guang and Bai Hai both saw the other's concern for Shi Fan. Back at her doorstep, Mo Guang blamed Rice Ball for not running towards him when she was scared. She thought she'd just turn around out of habit. The next day, Bai Hai's dad asked to transfer his son to another class. He hurriedly went to stop him, promising to return to the top of the class in the next test. Teacher Wang also thought that one exam didn't reflect Bai Hai's ability. He suggested moving the student to the front desk to concentrate on listening to the lecture more. Bai Hai left the seat next to Shi Fan. He concentrated on reviewing and finally completed the end-of-term test. Bai Hai successfully ranked first in the class, so he was moved back to his old seat. He gave Shi Fan a small gift, wishing her a happy winter break. Shi Fan also returned his notebook. Bai Hai said goodbye to her, accidentally dropping the movie ticket. Thinking that Shi Fan was secretly asking him out, he prepared carefully and came to the meeting point. But the person sitting in the seat next to him was his rival. It turned out that Mo Guang had secretly put the movie ticket into the notebook on Shi Fan's desk, but unexpectedly, it was Bai Hai's notebook. As a result, the two boys reluctantly watched the movie together. Over here, Shi Fan couldn't open Bai Hai's gift box. She called Mo Guang to help. He went over just as she wasn't in the room. Opening Bai Hai's gift, Mo Guang saw a mathematical formula. He knew the hidden meaning behind it, so he left it and left. Shi Fan returned to the room, thinking Bai Hai was reminding her to study. She didn't think much and immediately tried on the new clothes. Through the window, Mo Guang watched Shi Fan happily, thinking she understood Bai Hai's intentions. During the winter vacation, Shi Fan often slept until noon. Mo Guang was bored and worked hard to wake up his best friend. He was helpless and had to use food to shake Shi Fan awake. Seeing her eat without even leaving the blanket, he compared Shi Fan to a little pig that only eats and sleeps all day. On New Year's Eve, Shi Fan hung lanterns with Mo Guang. Seeing Bai Hai, Mo Guang pulled his friend in to replace him. Bai Hai ate dumplings and watched the New Year's Eve show with his friends' families. They watched the brilliant fireworks, welcoming the sacred moment. On the occasion of the new year, Mr. Chun gave his son a new coat. Over here, Mr. Shi also gave his daughter a phone she had secretly longed for. After celebrating the new year with their families, the group of friends gathered at the skating rink. Seeing Bai Hai intending to guide Fan, Mo Guang quickly grabbed his friend's hand tightly. The group followed each other and indulged in fun on the skating rink. In a private moment, Mo Guang held Fan's hand tightly. Happy times are always short-lived. The familiar alarm clock welcomed students to the new semester. Outside the door, Fan met Mo Guang wearing a new denim jacket. She reminded him that Teacher Wang would definitely strip this jacket off him. Mo Guang had anticipated this, so he planned to wear it once around the school grounds. He was so rushed that he forgot to cut the tag off his jacket. In class, the friends raced to copy the homework from the winter vacation. Mo Guang walked in with a cool look and then heard his friend say that his jacket still had the tag on it. Hearing the bell for class, Mo Guang quickly put the jacket away in his desk. Teacher Wang announced that there were only 500 days left until the most important exam of a student's life. Therefore, the teacher would collect phones before each class. Mo Guang quickly taped the phone to the underside of the desk. He secretly gave Fan a piece of tape to imitate him. When the teacher finished collecting them, Fan's phone suddenly rang. Teacher Wang discovered the student's deceitful behavior and threw the phone out the window. He said he would pay compensation when he met the parents. Waiting for recess, Fan quickly searched for her phone. Bai Hai had picked it up for her, but the phone no longer worked. He promised to take her to a repair shop after school. From a distance, Mo Guang quietly watched Rice Ball being protected by another boy. Secretly entering the broadcasting room, Mo Guang sent birthday wishes to his special friend. He played the birthday song, asking the people who were next to Fan to celebrate her new age. Teacher Wang heard the students happily celebrating the birthday, and Fan also couldn't bear to interrupt the children's joy. In the broadcasting room, Mo Guang ignored the teacher screaming outside the door and still grooved to the music. Because youth is short, he wanted to be crazy once so he wouldn't regret it. Rice Ball, happy birthday to you. Mo Guang returned to class to the cheers of his friends. Zixia said that the eyes of the 10th grade students looking at Mo Guang were full of admiration. Hearing Mo Guang bragging too much, Fan wondered how long the self-criticism report was. Mo Guang thought that 5,000 words were like tamarind leaves falling, and in exchange, he got to witness the anger and powerlessness of the head of the school board. During the extra history class in the evening, the power suddenly went out. The teacher let the class leave early, and then the power came back on. The cunning students hurriedly grabbed their bags and ran away. Bai Hai chased after Fan. He asked if she accepted the mathematical formula in the gift box. Fan didn't understand the formula, but agreed to let it go. However, Bai Hai timidly held Fan's hand, wishing her a happy birthday. Back home, Mo Guang and Fan's family continued to give her a birthday cake. Fan made a wish and blew out the candles in everyone's congratulations. Pulling Fan into the room, Mo Guang gave her a small gift. He remembered that when he was little, he had lost her marble. He had completed the promise to give her a bright gem. The next day, Teacher Wang continued to scold the students for the plummeting test scores. Fan suddenly felt dizzy and fainted to the ground. At the hospital, Fan thought she was close to death. She told her parents, telling Mo Guang to study hard. Seeing Rice Ball not speaking anymore, Mo Guang quickly called for help. The doctor said that Fan only had a viral fever, which was not related to chronic hepatitis. Mo Guang was still worried, not leaving her side for a moment. Fan's parents came to the hospital and found out about their daughter's condition. They knew Fan was worried that her mom was unemployed, so she hid her illness. Mr. Shur affirmed that even if the family situation wasn't good, he had to work day and night to definitely treat his daughter's illness. After school, Bai Hai brought homework to tutor Fan. Hearing the two-word study, she felt dizzy again. Coincidentally, the power went out, so Bai Hai had to lecture by candlelight. The dimly lit environment made Fan even sleepier. Outside the door, Mo Guang quietly watched Fan happily studying with Bai Hai, waiting until late. He dared to call to ask about her. Rice Ball, from now on, can you please not just look at Bai Hai? However, Rice Ball fell asleep and didn't hear Mo Guang's suggestion. While doing duty with Fan, Ku Xian said that Bai Hai was a simple person. She hoped that Fan wouldn't use the trick of being sick to keep him because Bai Hai used to be very obedient, but he was influenced by Fan. So he was increasingly distant from his family. Fan didn't know the education methods of the rich, but her parents taught her not to take charge for others without their permission. Coming to find Boss Zhou, Ku Xian paid 10,000 yuan to hire him to intimidate Fan. Boss Zhou advised his younger sister that she was still young and shouldn't think about bad things. Chasing after Ku Xian, a Hui wanted to take this job. She only needed a Hui to threaten Fan, without really doing anything. On the way to Lin Shu's house, Fan was stopped by a group of thugs. Over here, Lin Shu called Mo Guang because she had been waiting for Shi Fan for a long time. Mo Guang remembered that she had left half an hour ago. Meanwhile, Shi Fan was taken back to the thug's hideout. She recognized that Hui also worked at the bar. On the way to find Shi Fan, Mo Guang received a call from her. A stranger said that the phone's owner was lost. Hui threatened Shi Fan not to cause more trouble for Wei Kuxian. He had completed his task, and now it was time to settle the score with Chun Mo Guang. Hearing that, Shi Fan warned him not to touch Mo Guang. Meanwhile, Mo Guang followed the directions to an abandoned collective housing area. However, Shi Fan was being threatened in the building across the street. Mo Guang intended to go save her, but was ambushed from behind. They dragged him in front of Shi Fan and then started kicking him hard. She struggled to run to save Mo Guang. Seeing her being knocked down by Hui, he struggled to crawl over, using his body to shield Shi Fan. Rice Ball, don't be afraid. I will protect you. Taking Mo Guang to the hospital, Shi Fan kept crying nonstop. She refused to go home to change clothes, just sitting there waiting for him to wake up. Mo Guang, you are really so stupid. Does it hurt a lot that you're bleeding so much? You've been sleeping for too long, and it's making me scared. After a long night, Mo Guang was still unconscious. Mr. Chen advised Shi Fan to go home and rest a little, because if Mo Guang woke up, he wouldn't want to see her looking weak. Coming to visit Mo Guang, Kuxian confessed that she had hired Hui to threaten Shi Fan, but she didn't expect him to take revenge on Mo Guang. Kuxian asked her classmate to give her a chance to make amends. Shi Fan questioned, who gives Mo Guang the chance? He endured so much pain and was still unconscious in a hospital bed. She gave Kuxian a chance to confess to the police. Over here, Kuxian's mom came to see Shi Fan's family. She brought a large sum of money, asking that her daughter not have to meet the police. Mrs. Xia reminded her that Mo Guang's life wasn't something that could be bought with money. What they needed was for their children not to endure pain and to come home safely. Coming to the hospital to see Shi Fan, Bai Hai said that Kuxian's spirit was very unstable. He was afraid that she would do something foolish, so he asked Shi Fan to please forgive Kuxian. Shi Fan wondered if Kuxian, knowing her mistakes, would make up for her being kidnapped and Mo Guang being unconscious. She was disappointed that Bai Hai came to beg for Kuxian. After 2 days and 2 nights, Mo Guang finally woke up. Shi Fan's parents hurried home to cook porridge for their nephew. Mr. Chun ran to call the doctor. Shi Fan shed tears because she was very afraid that there would be no one to bicker with her anymore. Chen Montak Gvang, I don't want to always receive protection from you. I hope I can take a beating with you. Mo Guang criticized Shi Fan's crying face. He wanted to see her smile. Shi Fan said that she didn't accuse Kuxian. She was afraid that Mo Guang would resent this decision. However, he was willing to listen to all of Shi Fan's arrangements. Even though his classmate didn't accuse her, Kuxian still decided to turn herself in to take responsibility for her mistakes. She thought that she would feel lighter in her heart that way. Over here, Boss Zhou came to see his younger brother. He still didn't understand why Hui took action against Mo Guang. Hui said straight out that he had spent many years of rain and wind with the big brother, but he wasn't as good as a kid who was working part-time at the bar. He wanted to compete for power with Boss Zhou. During the scuffle, Hui grabbed a bottle of wine and hit Boss Zhou on the head. Coincidentally meeting Mo Guang at the hospital, Boss Zhou asked the police to let him say a few words to his younger brother. He said that he had taught Hui a lesson, and he was also arrested for kidnapping and causing injuries. Boss Zhou asked Mo Guang to occasionally call his grandma while he was being temporarily detained for fighting. As for Kuxian, she proactively confessed her guilt, so she wasn't criminally punished. However, Kuxian still felt guilty, so she decided to transfer schools. Finally, Mo Guang was discharged from the hospital. While packing his luggage, he unintentionally saw his dad's belt, which was so old that it was worn and torn. On the way home, Shi Fan pulled Mo Guang into a photo booth. She remembered that besides the class photo, they hadn't taken a picture together. Mo Guang agreed to create all the cutest poses next to Rice Ball. Back home, Shi Fan looked back at the photos. She remembered that while at the photo booth, she had suggested taking a serious photo with Mo Guang. The next day, the whole class welcomed the great hero back. Mo Guang recounted the story of a hero saving a fair maiden. He discovered that the whole class was isolating Bai Hai. Zixia said that everyone considered Bai Hai to be an accomplice of Kuxian, so they begged for her. Mo Guang thought everyone was being a little petty by isolating someone who hadn't made a mistake. Bai Hai passed by and accidentally overheard. Before class started, Bulai proactively gave Bai Hai a can of drink. Waiting for Bai Hai to return to his seat, Lin Shu asked him to lecture. Shi Fan asked him for a sip of water. Mo Guang revealed that the water of Bai Hai has always been supplied by him. Fan believed that she and Mo Guang had overlooked all the things that had happened and that everyone was still close friends. Meeting Fan privately, Bai Hai asked if she understood the mathematical formula in the gift box last time. She admitted that she had accidentally lost the paper, but was afraid that telling him would make Bai Hai sad. He sighed because he had misunderstood Fan's feelings. Watching her hurry to find Mo Guang, Bai Hai admitted that he had one against him. Back in class, Fan ran into Mo Guang chatting happily with the class monitor named Wan Wan. Seeing Fan drape her arm around him, Mo Guang advised her to learn the gentle nature of the class monitor. Fan felt a little hurt and affirmed that she had to be true to herself. After school, Fan had to walk because she lost her bike during the kidnapping. Coincidentally, Mo Guang also didn't have a bike, so for now on he would walk with her. But in reality, he secretly left the bike at school. On the weekend, the group of friends organized a picnic. They went to a very high place to see the scenery of the entire county. Zixia decided to go into real estate to build a villa on the mountainside. Fan was next, and she wanted to lie down and count money. Bulai and Bai Hai both wanted to take the college entrance exam at a university in a big city. Mo Guang planned to open a newsstand, working if he liked it, quitting if he was tired, and taking rice ball to play when he was bored. Only Wan Wan simply wanted to be an ordinary person. Coming down the mountain, the whole group happily camped and then fought to lie in the bamboo to sunbathe. Bai Hai suggested playing truth or dare. Seeing that the first person was Lin Shu, Zixia asked his friends to give him a chance. He asked Lin Shu directly if she liked him. She answered that she liked Zixia and also liked everyone. Taking his turn, Zixia asked and answered himself that he liked Lin Shu very much and wanted to take the college entrance exam at the same university as her. The next person was Mo Guang. He hugged Rice Ball tightly, wanted to be with her for the rest of his life. It was Bai Hai's turn, and he accepted the challenge of performing a dance for his friends. Waiting for the sausages to be grilled, Mo Guang brought them to the two girls. He and Fan looked at the starry sky. At night, Mo Guang lay next to Bai Hai, listening to the two girls' conversation in the tent next door. Lin Shu wondered if Fan liked the type of boy like Bai Hai or Mo Guang. Hearing that Fan liked a person like Jin Chengwu, both boys breathed a sigh of relief. Fan went outside to use the restroom and ran into Wan Wan gazing at the moon alone. Waiting for Fan to finish using the restroom, Wan Wan thanked her friends for giving her this meaningful time. Fan promised to take the class monitor to more interesting places. In the middle of the night, Fan hadn't seen Wan Wan return. She was a little uneasy, so she went to the tent next door to look for her. Unexpectedly, Wan Wan had left a letter. Dear friends, when everyone reads this letter, perhaps I have liberated myself. In fact, I have suffered from depression for a long time. In that dark cave, I sank deeper and deeper. I hope that you don't feel guilty because the warmth that everyone brought has been more than enough for me. In my final days, I have always remembered happy moments. Right now, I can finally get a good night's sleep. 16 years have passed quickly, and I hope to be like the clouds in the sky, swept away by the wind. Mo Guang managed to stop Wan Wan in time. Waiting for her to calm down, Fan apologized for not noticing sooner. Wan Wan shared that another personality of hers always urged her to disappear from the world so that her dad could come home more often. She really admired that the two of them could easily feel happy. Mo Guang confided that he didn't have a mom. She left when he was very young. Every time he got out of school, every time he was sick, he hoped that his mom would appear once. Mo Guang thought that Wan Wan didn't know her dad or anyone else. It was this harsh world that owed her too much. Fan advised Wan Wan not to rush to miss out on the good things in the future. Getting home early, Mo Guang saw his dad wake up tiredly. He went into the kitchen to cook a bowl of noodles for his dad. He asked his dad to take off his belt to wear the gift he gave. Mr. Chun was happy that his son knew how to care for his dad. In class, Teacher Wang announced that Wan Wan had requested to take a break for a while, and the position of class monitor would be temporarily held by another friend. To improve academic performance, the teacher divided the class into small groups. Fan was overjoyed that she got to study with Bai Hai. Mo Guang was in a group with Bulai. While reviewing, Fan unintentionally flung a book at Bulai. Seeing her repentant, Bulai took the opportunity to ask to join the group with the study god Bai Hai. Fan reluctantly agreed to form a group of 4 to progress together. Zixia quickly asked to join the group of 5. In front of the school gate, Boss Zhou waited for the children to get out of school. He had just finished his temporary detention and came to celebrate with everyone. Boss Zhou said that he had transferred ownership of the bar to prepare to go to Shenzhen. He wanted to take his grandma there to see the wider world. On the way home, Fan thought that she had identified what she wanted to do in the future. She would open a bookstore so that readers could find understanding and guidance there. Just like Wan Wan knew that many people were fighting against depression, or Boss Zhou found a path ahead. In the cool night breeze, Mo Guang gazed at Rice Ball's appearance when she talked about the future. Starting from this moment, he began to plant a seed about the future with Shifan. He wanted to become an architect and design her dream bookstore with his own hands. At the end of the second semester, Teacher Wang praised the students for knowing how to strive and achieve second place in the entire grade, in which Bai Hai excellently ranked first in the entire grade. During recess, Zixia passed by the teacher's office and unintentionally heard the news that Teacher Wang was about to transfer schools. He quickly ran back to class to announce the bad news to everyone. They all thought that Teacher Wang was a little fierce, but he was very dedicated to the students. During the last class of the 11th grade, Teacher Wang reminded the students not to let themselves slack off. Next year, everyone had to face the biggest exam in their lives. 12 years of sharpening a sword just to go to battle in 3 short days. Dear students, I'm transferring jobs. No matter what the new teacher is like, you must study hard. For you, I have done my best. Before you become a successful person, you must first be a good person. Zixia asked the teacher not to go, and he and his friends couldn't bear to be apart from him. In front of the mischievous but affectionate students, Teacher Wang couldn't hold back his tears. Back in the office, Teacher Wang looked at the photo the students sent him. The words "you've worked hard" moved him endlessly. Teacher Wang returned to the class, deciding to take responsibility for the students to the end. Even though he missed the opportunity for promotion, Teacher Wang still felt relieved. During the summer vacation, Shifan lay down and soaked her feet with her dad. But over here, Bai Hai still had to do homework. Looking at the pile of materials from the tutoring classes, he wanted to end the long-standing restraint. Back in his room, Bai Hai pasted pictures all over the wall. He wanted to use practical actions to prove his dad's mistakes. Instead of satisfying his dad's expectations, he wanted to strive for the future more. He didn't like the things his dad arranged, but every time he said it, he was scolded. He would try his best to pass the college entrance exam, but not for his dad, but for his own future. On the occasion of Mo Guang's birthday, the group of friends arranged to go back to their hometown to play. Hearing Zixia say that there was a sunflower garden, Shifan arrived very early. However, the field was all weeds. Seeing Rice Ball sulking, Mo Guang took her to a flower garden. They put their footprints on foreign lands and enjoyed the peaceful moments of the last summer vacation in their student lives. It suddenly started raining heavily, so Mo Guang took Rice Ball to take shelter. He complained that the weather in July changed like Rice Ball's temperament. Seeing that their friends still hadn't arrived, they had no choice but to take out the food and fill their stomachs. It turned out that Zixia overslept. Bai Hai was busy reading books, and Lin Shu didn't come due to the heavy rain. Shifan regretted a lively birthday party, and as a result, only she and Mo Guang were left. Thinking that this was the last summer in their student lives, Shifan asked Mo Guang if he liked any girl at school. Hearing him ask her the same question in return, she was shy and didn't speak. Because she woke up early, Shifan was a little sleepy. Mo Guang unexpectedly hugged Rice Ball into his arms, using his broad shoulder as a soft pillow for her. Looking at Rice Ball's beautiful lips, he had to restrain himself. When the rain stopped, they got a ride back with a farmer. Hearing that Shifan forgot to prepare a gift for him, Mo Guang angrily turned away. She asked him to look at her and then unexpectedly gave him a necklace. Inside the necklace was a photo of her and Mo Guang together, along with 2 metaphorical lines of poetry. Mo Guang criticized the necklace for being dirt cheap, but his hand was very quick to put around his neck. Over here, Mr. Chen wasn't feeling well, so he went to the doctor for a checkup. The doctor diagnosed him with chronic kidney failure, also known as end-stage uremia. Near the end of the vacation, Shifan did summer homework with Mo Guang. They listened to music while secretly glancing at each other's faces. Mo Guang deliberately closed the distance, gently touching Rice Ball's hand. A customer buying soda unexpectedly broke the romantic moment. Starting the new school year, Mo Guang declared that he had become the biggest senior in the school, and he would comfortably do whatever he wanted without having to look at anyone's face. In class, Teacher Wang started the senior year, and all the students were ready to face the continuous practice tests. The teacher announced that Wan Wan had officially returned to fight with the whole team this school year. Bai Hai, representing the whole class, read the oath. Today, at the age of 18, we become adults. On an important day, we pledge to study hard and absolutely not to be arrogant and think we are better than others. We will be good people and repay our parents. We will be righteous people, use action to bring glory, and share responsibility with our shoulders. Teacher Wang declared that the students had entered adulthood. Entering this age, each person would use their youth to face the difficulties in life. The teacher hoped that the students wouldn't lose the enthusiasm of youth because of growing up. Finally, the teacher gave each person a letter written by their parents. The words of parents were the best gift for growing up. Bai Hai's dad apologized for always seeing his son as a child, forcing him to act according to his way of thinking. Because of the tortuous nature of his life, he wanted his son to prepare himself very carefully to avoid being caught off guard. But in the end, he didn't understand his own son. Bai Hai, Dad was wrong. Dad was wrong for not trusting your growth. From today onwards, you should take charge of your own life. Dad will forever be a rampart standing behind you. On the rooftop, Mo Guang chuckled at his dad's scribbled handwriting. He told his son to cause less trouble and bully Riceball less since he was now an adult. You should become a real man and be the pillar of the family. Mo Guang, Dad is getting old and can't protect you anymore. As a single father, I have encountered many rugged and bumpy roads, but you have always been the string that pulled me back from the shore of difficulty. Being your old father is the greatest happiness of my life. In the letter to Shi Fan, her dad wrote that he didn't ask her to be outstanding, but she must be safe. He blamed himself for not giving her a healthy body. Riceball, no matter what the cost, Mom and Dad will cure your illness. If it can't be done in the country, we'll go abroad. Dad believes that his daughter will one day be completely healthy. Mom and Dad love you. In the summer breeze, Mo Guang promised to cure Riceball's illness. Calling his wife abroad, Mr. Shi thought his daughter was listening to English. So he talked about Mo Guang's dad. Unexpectedly, just as Shi Fan was about to go out to pour water, she heard her dad say that Mr. Chen contacted Mo Guang's biological mom. Over here, Mr. Chen planned to transfer the convenience store. Sitting down to talk with his son, he admitted that he wasn't Mo Guang's biological dad. His biological mom was in Guangzhou and didn't know her son was still alive. In a moment of recklessness, she became pregnant with Mo Guang. The family was afraid of affecting her marriage later, so after she gave birth, they lied and said that the child was no longer alive. They took him to an orphanage. It was Shi Fan's dad who took him back to Mr. Chen. Dad, was I abandoned by people? Mo Guang couldn't accept the truth and ran out of the house. Shi Fan was worried and hurriedly asked after him. She admitted that she knew he wasn't Mr. Chen's biological son. Mo Guang was even more angry and ran to find his own space. Wandering through the streets, Mo Guang stopped on the bridge. He realized that the city was very large, but there wasn't a single house that really belonged to him. Finally, Mo Guang returned home, but he refused to talk to anyone. Shi Fan questioned why he was treating his dad like that. All these years, he worked hard to raise him, no less than any other dad in the world. Because his son refused to see him, Mr. Chen had no choice but to confide through the door. Mo Guang, the first time I saw you, I didn't dare to hold you because I was afraid of hurting you. At that time, you didn't cry at all and even smiled at me. At that moment, my heart melted. I was so happy that from then on I had a little angel. You were like the light that God gave me, and the name Mo Guang was born from that. In my twilight years, I found a way out for my life. No matter what difficulties I encountered, as long as I thought of you, I tried to overcome them. Mo Guang opened the door and helped his dad into the room. Mr. Chen apologized for not telling Mo Guang the truth sooner. He remembered when he was 5 years old, he needed to draw a picture of his mom in his imagination. At that time, he planned to take his son to meet his biological mom, but he was afraid that his son would be very sad if he knew. Seeing his dad feel guilty, Mo Guang understood. He asked his dad if his biological mom knew of his existence. Mr. Chen said that he had called and told everything, and she promised to come to see her son next week. Meeting Shi Fan in class, Mo Guang deliberately ignored her. Shi Fan said she wouldn't apologize anymore, but her feet went to find him to make up. She personally spoon-fed Mo Guang dessert, but he quickly left. On the rooftop, Bai Hai remembered that Mo Guang was once afraid that he would be isolated, so he pulled his friends to proactively talk to him. However, Mo Guang was currently isolating Shi Fan. Even though he didn't know what had happened between the two, Bai Hai believed that avoiding things wouldn't solve the problem. Mo Guang confided that he used to think that he wouldn't have secrets with Shi Fan. However, he just discovered that she was like other people, hiding an important thing from him. Bai Hai was sure that Shi Fan had her own reasons for doing so. After school, just as it was raining, Lin Shu heard that Shi Fan didn't bring an umbrella, so she asked Mo Guang to take her home. However, Mo Guang coldly left. Zixia gave his umbrella to Shi Fan so he could go home with Lin Shu. Shi Fan went downstairs and saw Mo Guang waiting for her. He saw the umbrella in Shi Fan's hand and blamed her for being a habitual liar. Shi Fan felt aggrieved and burst into tears. Back at the snack shop, Shi Fan didn't dare to sit at the same table as Mo Guang. Uncle He announced that he would close the shop to take care of his daughter's child. Seeing Shi Fan at odds with Mo Guang, Uncle He thought that the friendship of growing up together was a very precious thing and that there wouldn't be anything so pure when they grew up. Hearing that, Shi Fan went down and sat with Mo Guang. She affirmed that no matter how angry he was, she would not let go. On the way to school, Mo Guang deliberately led his bike to walk with Shifan. Reaching the front of the school gate, he unexpectedly rode his bike out, waiting for school to let out. Shifan went to find Mo Guang. It turned out that he was playing at the old bar. Meeting her, he pretended not to see her. However, Mo Guang couldn't bear to abandon his best friend. He turned back to find Shifan. It was fortunate that she hadn't left. Watching Mo Guang eat lunch, Shifan apologized for hiding such an important matter. He knew that his origin was unrelated to Shifan, but because he considered her his closest person, he was resentful. Under the evening sunlight, Shifan asked Mo Guang what he wanted to do after graduating. He revealed that he would do something that he wanted to do very much but didn't dare to do. Shifan thought that Mo Guang should say it soon because waiting is tiring. He thought that good things were always worth waiting for. Back home, Mo Guang was treated to 2 stir-fried vegetable dishes by his dad. Just then, Shifan's dad and daughter brought meat to cook together. Hiding in the room to read stories, Shifan unintentionally saw a pair of women's shoes. He was embarrassed and didn't admit to buying them for her. However, Shifan wore them very well. Hearing her criticize them for being ugly, he asked her to put them in the box. But Shifan had already claimed the shoes as her own. On the day of meeting his mom, Mo Guang asked his dad if he wanted him to go. Mr. Chun thought that since she came here from Guangzhou, she should at least get to see her son. He told Mo Guang to cheer up because otherwise, people would blame him for not knowing how to raise his son. Nearing the meeting point, Mo Guang was shy because he didn't have enough courage to meet his mom. Shifan encouraged him, urging him to quickly go meet the person who gave birth to him. Meeting Mo Guang for the first time, Mrs. Xiao didn't know what her son liked, so she bought some clothes based on her feelings. She timidly asked, "Am I like what you imagined?" Mo Guang said that he had never met his mom, so he didn't have a concrete image. Montak Guang. Years ago, when I heard the news that you had passed away from difficult labor, I only wanted to follow you. I never dreamed that you were still alive in this world. I blame myself for missing your childhood and growing up stages. I'm sorry for not holding you tight. Hearing Mo Guang talk about his dad's situation, Mrs. Xiao offered to take her son to Guangzhou to reduce the economic pressure on Mr. Chun, and maybe he could get married and experience a new life. Over here, Mr. Chun heard the news that his son had met his mom. He said that his illness required regular dialysis, and the treatment costs were expensive, but would only last for a while. If he was lucky enough to receive a suitable kidney, the surgery would cost more than 30,000 yuan. He wanted to use that money for Mo Guang to go to college, get married, and have children. He admitted that he couldn't bear to be apart from his son, but he wouldn't live much longer, so he had to make proper arrangements for Mo Guang. Waiting for Mo Guang to return, Mr. Chen advised his son to spend more time with his mom. He thought that after Mo Guang took the college entrance exam, he could move to Guangzhou. Mo Guang wondered if his dad would be sad living alone. Mr. Chen wanted to be free and comfortable, and if he felt lonely, he would find an old friend. Mo Guang understood his dad and didn't need to wait until after taking the college entrance exam, moving immediately. Mr. Chen knew about his illness, so he didn't dare to keep his son around. Early in the morning, Mr. Chun called his son to get up for breakfast, but Mo Guang had already left. Meeting Shifan, he confided that he didn't want to burden Mo Guang. She worried that he was straightforward and might offend his mom's family. Mr. Chen affirmed that Mo Guang was raised by him every day, and if anyone dared to bully his son, he would risk his life to demand justice. Mo Guang unexpectedly walked in and asked his dad why he was pushing him away. He said that the only reason he would leave this house was to become his dad's burden, and if that wasn't the case, he would not leave. Seeing Mo Guang fall asleep by the window, Shifan woke him up. She saw that the candy box was full, so she came to check Mo Guang's cavities. She left the candy box in his room temporarily, telling him not to open it until she gave permission. Just then, the hospital called to report that Mr. Chun was in the hospital. Seeing her son worried, Mr. Chun said that he only had kidney stones and was malnourished. Mo Guang blamed his dad for being stingy and not daring to buy meat to eat. Mr. Chen promised to buy more meat to nourish his son until he was fair-skinned and chubby. He asked Mo Guang to go home and get his bank card to pay the hospital fees. Shifan deliberately stayed behind because she felt that Mr. Chen's condition wasn't simple. Seeing his daughter planning to ask the doctor, Mr. Chun had no choice but to admit that he had end-stage uremia. He didn't want to affect Mo Guang's exam preparation, so he hid his illness. In class, Teacher Wang announced that the results of the first practice test were out. Among them, the teacher was very surprised by Mo Guang's math scores. He went from the bottom to leading the entire class. After proving his strength, Mo Guang sent a message offering to tutor rice ball. Chatting with Mo Guang, Shifan wondered if her illness got worse, would it affect him much? Mo Guang affirmed that he would be sadder than if he got sick himself. But instead of leaving like last time, He would use his shoulders to bear everything with her. At the hospital, Mr. Chen knew that Shirfan was still hesitating about hiding things from Mo Guang. He explained that the college entrance exam was too important, and he couldn't ruin his son's future. Shirfan questioned why the two dads didn't have faith in their children. If Mr. Chen left while Mo Guang didn't know, the pain would follow him his whole life. The kind-hearted Mo Guang would blame himself for everything and live forever in remorse and regret. At the hospital, Mo Guang asked his dad when he could come home. Mr. Chen said that he couldn't leave this place. Giving the test results to his son, Mr. Chen admitted that he had uremia. Because his condition worsened, it couldn't be cured. Mo Guang remembered that uremia could be treated with a kidney transplant, and he wanted to give his dad one of his kidneys. Mr. Chen analyzed that their blood types were different, so they weren't compatible. He hoped that his son would have enough courage to face this reality. Back home meeting Shirfan, Mo Guang finally dared to shed tears. He remembered his dad saying that he wanted to see him go to college and get married and have children. Right now, he didn't even dare to go home because he was afraid that his dad wouldn't return. In the hospital, Mr. Chen wrote many letters to his son. He hoped that even if he left, Mo Guang wouldn't feel lonely. He also hoped that his future would have some trace of him. 30 days before the college entrance exam, everyone worked as hard as they could. Teacher Wang reminded some students whose performance had declined in the second practice test. Tasting the food his son cooked, Mr. Chen praised Mo Guang's cooking skills for improving day by day. He was very happy thinking about his son becoming a college student, but perhaps he wouldn't be able to wait until then. Mo Guang thought his college life would be full of color. Every day he would listen to his roommate complain about love. He would choose a favorite major and find a part-time job. After graduating, he would propose to rice ball and then have chubby children. Mr. Chen felt at ease if Mo Guang was with Shirfan. He had long seen through his son's intentions, but dating and marriage were very different. Mo Guang didn't fully understand what his dad was saying. He only felt that Shirfan was the person worthy for him to be with for the rest of his life. Mr. Chen was very happy for his son's growth. During the last class, Teacher Wang couldn't bear to be apart from his students. He suggested taking a commemorative photo to put the most beautiful period on the student life of each person. The college entrance exam finally arrived. Every student cherished every moment of doing the test. Only Mo Guang experienced the first day of the exam in trepidation because his dad's condition wasn't good. But that evening when he returned home, his dad smiled and spoke happily, telling him to relax. Before the final exam room, Mo Guang received bad news. He disregarded everything and ran to his dad's side. All the ordinary moments with his dad suddenly became very precious. In the last moment of his life, Mr. Chen saw his son holding the university acceptance letter in his hand. Mo Guang, Dad loves you. Mo Guang ran to the place, but his dad had already passed away. He dragged his heavy footsteps, coming to gaze at his haggard father's face one last time. Today, the house only had Mo Guang left. In the dark night, he hugged the coat his dad bought tightly. Going outside to the kitchen, Mo Guang looked for something to eat temporarily. He saw the jar of salted vegetables his dad told him to finish before the first day of a new year. He remembered that every time he salted vegetables, his dad made a lot, but he didn't like to eat this dish. Currently, this was the last jar of salted vegetables that Mo Guang would eat. He suddenly realized that the taste wasn't bad at all. Mo Guang ate and smiled through his tears. Waiting for Mo Guang to stabilize his mood, Mr. Shi came to deliver his dad's belongings, including the insurance book and Mr. Chen's savings. Mr. Shi said that Mo Guang's dad's greatest wish was to see him become a college student. Mr. Shi planned to take Mo Guang and Shirfan to live abroad. But Mo Guang's mom contacted him, wanted to bring her son back to Guangzhou. Mr. Shi wanted to let Mo Guang decide. Back home, Mr. and Mrs. Shi wanted to take Shirfan abroad. Mrs. Xia thought that her daughter's predicted scores were only enough to get into an ordinary university. She was afraid that it would be difficult for Shirfan to find a job in the future, but if she went abroad, she would have more opportunities. Shirfan didn't agree and ran to find Mo Guang. She affirmed that she didn't want to go abroad and would definitely not leave him. Hearing that her dad was taking Mo Guang too, Shirfan immediately agreed, as long as she didn't separate from him. She planned to take Mo Guang to new and exciting places over there. Looking at rice ball and imagining the future scene, Mo Guang's eyes suddenly became sad. Coming to confide in Xia, Mo Guang said that he wouldn't go abroad or go to Guangzhou. He wanted to stay in this land, which held the memories of his dad. Watching Shirfan excitedly pack her things, Mrs. Xia couldn't bear to hide it from her daughter. She told the truth that Mo Guang had decided to stay. Shirfan thought that her parents didn't want to take Mo Guang in, so they left him behind. Going to meet Mo Guang, Shirfan questioned, "Why did you change your mind and not go abroad with me?" Mo Guang thought that after his dad left, he had grown up more and had to bear his own responsibilities. He asked her not to be angry and to spend time together happily to make up for it. He asked her to go see a movie. Fan came to the theater early, but Mo Guang didn't come alone. He also asked Wan Wan to come. She resentfully returned the movie ticket to him. Back home, Fan questioned Mo Guang about why he asked Wan Wan to come too. He praised her for being gentle and said he was sure that she would be admitted to a good school. He revealed that what he wanted to do after graduating was to be with Wan Wan. Fan didn't believe Mo Guang, and she affirmed that no matter what, she wouldn't go abroad. Mo Guang said straight out that he only saw her as a close friend. Right now, he wanted to build a new life with new friends. Chen Montak Gvang, I promise not to stop you from meeting new friends. Fan, my family has scraped together all their money to treat my dad's illness. I don't want another burden. If your illness can't be cured, then don't implicate me anymore. Seeing his daughter melancholy, Mr. Sher knew that Fan couldn't bear to be apart from Mo Guang. He admired the childhood, sweetheart feelings between the two of them. However, feelings must go through trials to really last. If Fan wanted to become an author, she had to experience many places. After exploring the world, if she and Mo Guang still wholeheartedly faced each other, they would definitely meet again. The group of friends raised their glasses to say goodbye to Fan as she went in new lands. Everyone sent their best wishes to their close friend. Every moment of parting had tears of regret and longing. At the end of the party, I high-handed Fan over to Mo Guang. Before saying goodbye, he hugged her tightly, wishing Fan to live happily. Walking back on the familiar bridge, Fan was a little drunk and wanted to stop for a while. Mo Guang told her that when she went abroad, she had to take care of her health and eat well. Fan asked him not to leave her. Mo Guang, I like you. This is probably the last time I'll call your name. From now on, don't eat too much candy. And don't kiss another girl. Mo Guang agreed, promising to live happily. The instructions and the regretful hug made both of their hearts crumble. The next day, Fan brought Mo Guang's gem and said goodbye to the place filled with childhood memories. She looked at the window, but she didn't see Mo Guang looking at her even once. She knocked on the door, asking Mo Guang to see her one last time. Mo Guang, I have to go now. Goodbye to you. Mo Guang. Mo Guang hid in a corner, saying goodbye to Rice Ball in silence. Drinking to relieve sorrow with Mo Guang, Zixia introduced many beautiful upperclassmen to his best friend. He accidentally mentioned Fan, causing Mo Guang to not hold back his tears. Zixia, my rice ball is very silly. She can't tell directions. What should she do if she doesn't know the way abroad? No matter how good other girls are, they aren't her. I'm afraid that Rice Ball won't be cured of her illness by my side and will leave like my dad. I don't want to experience that loss one more time. Over here, Fan had arrived at the New York airport. She went into the bathroom, looking for paper in her bag, and discovered Mo Guang's letter. Rice Ball, when you read this letter, perhaps you have safely arrived in a new land. I apologize for not being able to meet you to say goodbye. Regardless of the past or present, I don't want to face separation. I don't want to see tears of sorrow rolling down your face. If you encounter difficulties, remember that I will always support you. If you happen to have a boyfriend, remember to look carefully at the person. Or if you happen to marry someone, definitely don't send me an invitation. I won't come to such a far place. Rice Ball, I hope you will always be safe, happy, have a bright future, and have your wishes fulfilled. 12 years later, Mo Guang had become an architect. He had stopped contacting Fan 2 years ago when she married someone else. But over the years, he had always carried her necklace with him. On the familiar road, Fan returned to the old house that once contained so many childhood memories. She and Mo Guang had spent truly beautiful years. The image of her mischievous friend, who always quietly cared for her, was still as intact as ever. Mo Guang, if there is still a chance to meet again, I want to tell you that when you have a little longing for me, please remember that my heart always remembers you. One day, your hair will be silver. Your memory won't be good, and you'll walk slowly, but to me, you'll always be that boy from back then. Mo Guang returned to the old house after Fan had left. He worked in another city, so he occasionally returned to burn incense for his dad. Entering the room, Mo Guang opened Rice Ball's candy box. He unexpectedly discovered that each candy had a message from her. I hope Mo Guang will always be safe. I hope Mo Guang takes me to see the aurora. I hope Mo Guang eats less candy and doesn't get cavities. I hope Mo Guang likes me as much as I like him. Mo Guang couldn't hold back his tears and sat down to read all of Rice Ball's messages. On the road, leaving Huayuan County, Mo Guang received a call from Zixia. He revealed that Fan had divorced a year ago, and she had just returned to Huayuan and probably hadn't left yet. While Mo Guang was running to find Fan, she unintentionally walked into a bookstore. She realized that the bookstore was very similar to her imagination from back then. It had glass doors close to the ground, a cafe on the second floor, and many sunflowers on the table welcoming the sunlight. At that time, Mo Guang had promised to become an architect to realize her ideas with his own hands. When running to find Shi Fan, Mo Guang wished that if he had opened the door that day, if he had gone abroad to find her, if he had confessed his feelings. However, he didn't do any of that, and only missed her. Rice Ball, how have you been living all these years? Mo Guang couldn't find Shi Fan, so he sent a text message asking to meet her. In his dream, he returned to his student days when he had her by his side. Mo Guang seized the opportunity and pulled Shi Fan up to the rooftop. Rice Ball, if in the future we have separate lives and can't be together anymore, then you must remember this moment carefully. Shi Fan, I like you. I have always liked you very much. Arranging to meet in front of the bookstore, Mo Guang finally met Rice Ball again. He noticed a ring on her hand. Hearing her praise the bookstore behind him, Mo Guang said that it was his work, but that there were still many regrets. Shi Fan didn't want to disturb his life and asked permission to leave. She knew that she had been married and was no longer worthy of the person who gave her the bright gem. Over here, Mo Guang thought back on his own timidity that made him miss the girl he loved once. If God gave him another chance, he wanted to hold her tightly by his side. Rice Ball, Mo Guang called her back. He wanted to play an old game, writing the words, "I will always wait for you" on her hand. Shi Fan understood Mo Guang's confession and smiled. He hugged her tightly, not wanting to separate again. In the end, the childhood sweethearts also had a beautiful ending. Whether as relatives, lovers, or friends, if one day they have to separate, believe that in the long course of time, we will meet again.